Okay guys, we're back. So on to part 3, the bulk costume import and export features of Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager. So first off, let me just clean up what I did back there, just so we can get a fresh start. So I'll bring back up Custom Mod Manager, and we added a couple of colors to Chun, so let's remove it and apply the original ones again. Okay, and for Ryu we have cool costume, remove it, and Satsui, remove it, and apply the original one again. Okay, now on costume files we also add one for Chun-Li, let's remove that. And for VFX files we add one for Ryu, so let's remove that as well. Okay, let's launch Street Fighter 4 just to see if everything is back to its original state. It should. Okay.
Street Fighter 4.
Logging in. Training mode.
And the curtain is raised on the world's most extreme
Ryu and Chun.
We've got 2 to 3 fighters lined up. This is going to be one hell
The
of a
dynamic
show.
duo.
Who will come out
Okay,
on top?
everything back to normal. So, normal costume on Ryu, normal costume on Chun. Let's start modding. Now, in order to use bulk import feature, you need to have zipped costume mods. So I have a couple of those here. It's actually the easiest way to release a costume mod is to just zip everything inside a zip file. So I have, for example, the Satsui no Hado. I have it here on zip form, and if we open it, we can see that inside we have the VFX file and the color file, okay, all wrapped up in one simple package, one zip file. So the zip file, in order for Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager to work properly, needs to have at least one file, the color file, which is the main file of the mod, but it can have up to 4 files. That is the color file, a specific costume file, the VFX file, and a preview file. That's a picture that is used to preview your costume in Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager. I believe I have one of those here. Oh, for instance, this is Naruto. What the? Let me try to extract it. Aha! Here it is. So it's the preview here. Okay, now let's try and add. I think I have black and white gi here also. Okay, so here we have the color file and the preview file. Okay, you get the picture. So let's try and add the black and white gi and the Satsui no Hado. It was the same two that we previously used, but this time in zip form. So let's start the Custom Mod Manager. This is the game. Let's start Custom Mod Manager, and you can go, you have 2 choices here. You can go to import costumes from zip files, or you can go to color file manager and import from zip files. It's exactly the same thing, okay? Exactly the same thing. So in here you can select a directory, or if you want to bulk import, or you can select a single zip file if you want to import just one costume, okay? And that's really important to memorize. one zip file, only one costume. That's really important, okay? Because Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager is able to tell different files from different costumes, from different zip files. So if you have two costumes for Ryu inside the same zip file, Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager has no way of knowing like which color file goes to which costume file. Imagine that that zip has two color files, two costume files, and two VFX files. So he wouldn't know. And because of that, and in order to avoid confusion, Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager assumes that one zip file equals one costume and only one costume. Okay, that's why I did the feature for bulk import, because although you can only have one costume per zip file, you can have as many of them as you want, the zip files inside a directory structure, and that can be as deep as you want and as goofy looking as you want. Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager will recursively go through each and every subdirectory inside your root directory that you select and import every single zip file, every single costume mod inside every single zip file to every single character automatically. Okay, now for now we'll just go and import one costume in one zip file. So I'll click this, select zip file instead of folder, and I'll browse to the black and white GUI. So let's go to the zipped Ryu black and white GUI and open, and now import costumes. Importing complete, one costume imported. Okay, so if I go to, and that's it, that's as simple as it gets. So if we go to Color File Manager and head down to Ryu, here it is. It's a black and white GUI. I have the preview here. I can double click it, okay, and if I edit the color, it already made all the necessary associations for you automatically and named it after the zip file. Sorry. Where is it? Here it is. It named it after the zip file. So basically it grabbed the name of the zip file, uppercased it, and put underscores in the white spaces. I advise you to be very descriptive in the names of the zip files, because those names will be used by Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager in order to name these mods here inside the application. Now all I have to do is apply it to normal like usually, and let's see if that worked. Character change, clear the cache, reselect, and here it is. Okay, so as you can see, you just have to organize your costumes inside zip files, and then Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager does the whole thing for you. Okay. Oh, what about if a costume has what about if a costume has a VFX file? I mean, the black and white GUI was a basic mod, basic quote unquote, because this is a really great mod, but was a basic mod in terms that it only mods the color file. It doesn't mod the costume file nor the VFX file. So what about the Satsui no Haro? The Satsui no Haro has a VFX file along with the color file. So does Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager correctly imports this and associates the new VFX file with this mod? Yes, it does. So let's check that. So now I can use the Color File Manager to access the same interface to import from zip files. Select the zip file instead of a folder. browse to it, and Satsui no Hado zip, open, import costume. One costume imported. Now it has the Satsui no Hado, and if I go to edit color, here it is. So he automatically added a new VFX file that calls Satsui no Hado and associated this color file with this VFX file automatically. Okay, so if I go to VFX Manager, I can see in Ryu that he has two VFXs. Okay, so if we try to apply it, nothing new, I'm sure it will work. So this basically gives you a much simpler interface in order to import new costumes. You just bulk it into zip files, pack it into zip files. There it is, the VFX. You just bulk it into zip files and off you go. Now bulk import. Bulk import. So I mean, this is great. This is better than adding manually everything, but I still have to manually add each and every one of my zipped mods. So, like Ryu, we have 21 mods. I mean, I don't want to import 21 times each one. So, I'm sorry, I don't want to import each and every one of them in a separate way. Of course, I'm not importing 21 times each one of them. My mistake. But I don't want to import each one of them separately. I just want to make one operation and import the whole thing. I can do that with bulk import. So I can import costumes from zip files. Press that. Now, instead of selecting a zip file, I'm going to select the folder. So I'm going to the root of the folder. So I want to import everything under costumes zip Ryu. Okay, so I'm going to select that Ryu, and that, if you remember correctly, is this one over here. Okay, so this folder has all these files, and this is the root folder for those files. So I'm going to select the root folder, and I'm just going to make import costumes, and they were 21 costumes. So let's see how many costumes are imported. He's importing, please wait. 21 costumes imported. Here it is. So now if I go to Ryu, voila, I have lots of costumes. I have Adidas costume, I have the beard, I have black and white GI, black and white GI 1. This is very important because if you notice, we had already imported black and white GI and the Satsui no Hado. So Satsui no Hado, here it is. So in order not to have name clashing or overwriting something accidentally, Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager automatically detects this situation and adds a number on the front if this name has already been given to another costume. So when he was trying to write the costume black and white GI, black and white gi, sorry, he realized that it already existed, so he would override that costume. But you can have different costumes with the same name. So basically what he did was, well, I don't want to override it by accident, so I'll just name it black and white gi 1. And if we did another import, it would name him black and white gi 2, and so forth. But as you can see, in a matter of seconds, you have all of these with you have all of these Cobra Kai. You have all of these with previews. Well, the ones that had previews are showing previews, and with everything well associated. So let's try the Evil Ryu's card just to try see if this thing worked. Yes, I'll apply it to normal. Let's go here to character change. Don't forget, always choose slot 1 or color 1 always. Okay, here it is. Let's just select another one. Chris Redfield.
Are you ready?
And here you go. So as you can see, it's working perfectly. Let's try out the Cobra Kai. Last one. Once again, don't forget, always pick color 1. That's the color of your mod. And here it is, the Cobra Kai. Awesome mod. Okay. So as you can see, it's working. Now, recursively imports. Okay, so imagine this situation. Here I have a Ryu directory with all the costumes perfectly aligned beneath that root directory. But imagine that I had a more complex directory structure beneath this one. Like, for example, this mixed directories that I created. I created the directory Ryu1, and I have Adidas, Beard, and Black and White Gi. Then I have another subdirectory named Ryu2 that has the evil Ryu mods, and then beneath that one I have a directory named Chun-Li that has the makeup costume, and another subdirectory named Chun-Li 2 that has the flowers mod. Okay, so can I import this in one go? Yes, you can. So you just click on import costumes from zip files. Very important thing is he will only import costumes. Bulk import only works with zip files due to the reason I gave you earlier, that it's the only way Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager knows that this is one mod, this is another one, and this is another one. If you had the several files all mixed up, he wouldn't know which VFX goes to which color file and which color file goes to which costume file, and it would be a big mess. So bulk import only works with zip files. Now, so I'm going to select the mixed directories. Custom mods, costumes, mixed directories. This is the root of that enormous directory structure. Okay, that in each step has a zip file. So I want to import all of that. Let's see how many of them are. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9 costumes. So mixed directories, okay. Now, if I just select mixed directories and click import costumes, it will only import the costumes directly beneath that directory, which in this case are 0. So if I click import costumes, I don't have any zip file in there, so it will give me 0. Okay, but if I select the mixed directories and I click the recurse subdirectories, he will go through every subdirectory in your directory structure, and if he finds a zip file, he will try to import it. So let's click on import costumes, and this time it should read 9 costumes imported. And here you go, 9 costumes imported. So let's check those out. So in Ryu, we have Adidas and Adidas 1, Beard and Beard 1, black and white gi, black and white gi 1, the Satsui no Hado, and in Chun-Li's case we have the Chun-Li flowers and the makeup. Okay, so there you go. Actually, guys, I was noticing one thing. I think I have a bug here. Because if you look here in Ryu, he already had Adidas, he added Adidas 1, he already had Beard, he added Beard 1, he already had black and white he added black and white gi 1, but he already had black and white gi 1, so he should have added black and white gi 2, and he didn't. So I'm thinking he may have overwritten the black and white gi 1. So this is a bug. Yep, he should have added this one as black and white gi 2, so this is a bug. Well, I don't have time for it right now, but as you can see, everything else worked perfectly. Okay, the evil ones are all duplicated. 1, 1, 1, 1, and in Chun's case, she has the makeup and the Chun-Li flower. So let's try and apply this one. Okay, and let's try and apply one of the new ones like Adidas 1 that was just imported, just to see if they work. And here they are, both of them. Well, that wraps it up for bulk import. Now, you can also export your file. So, if you don't want to create these zip files by hand, okay, or imagine you had imported them manually via the unzipped way, like we did in part 2 of this tutorial, and now you want to export it as a zip file, you can. So I can go to Color File Manager, Ryu, I can export this costume. I just click Export to Zip File. Do you want to zip Ryu's Adidas? Yes, I do. Now, where do you want to put it? I'm going to put it here on the desktop and zip it. And here it is, zipping complete. So we created a file for me with the name Adidas, and inside we have a full mod. So it's the color file, the costume file associated with it, the JPEG preview image, and the VFX file. Okay? So in this case, in the Adidas mod, I believe the Adidas mod is 1. Okay, here it is. Here's the original mod, and here's the Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager Export mod. So in the original mod, you have the preview file that is in there also, and you have the color file, which is this one right here. The reason why the original mod doesn't use the costume file and the VFX file is that he relies on the original VFX file for Ryu and the original costume file for Ryu. But Street Fighter Costume Mod Manager doesn't want to take that chance. So he I wanted, when I designed it, to be able to say for sure that if you export a file from Costume Mod Manager and then you use that zip file and import it again, it will work just as expected. And the only way I can guarantee that is if I pack the whole mod inside the zip. So this zip file is completely self-contained. It won't need anything else from the Street Fighter 4 directory. So imagine the character directory, sorry. It needs something else from the other directories of the game, of course, like sounds and everything, but regarding to costume modding, it won't need anything. Imagine you had corrupted your original costume file by manually copying and pasting cause files and call files inside your character directory, your Ryu character directory. So if you did that and you added this mod, it wouldn't work as expected. But because this one is relying on the original costume file that you would eventually had altered by all the copying and pasting and stuff and manually doing that. But even if you did it using the zipped costume file by Street Fighter 4, Custom Mod Manager will allow you to use the costume file because it doesn't need to rely on any costume file other than this one. It comes bundled with it, and it doesn't need to rely on any VFX file because it comes bundled with it. And these files are generally small, so I mean 7 megs. So it's no big deal in space-wise. So here, this is how the costume export works. So later on, I can import it from this zip file. I can import, browse. No, sorry, select zip. I can browse, go to my desktop, select Adidas, open, import. One costume imported. And here's that bug again because I already had Adidas and Adidas 1, so he overwritten one of them. I'm not sure what, but if I really want to test it, I can click remove color and remove color again, and now import. Select the zip, browse, Adidas, open, import costume. One costume imported, and here it is. Okay, so as you can see, it works perfectly. So here he is referencing the Adidas costume file, that's that one, and referencing the Adidas VFX file, that one. Okay, so of course this Adidas VFX file may as well be the original one, and this Adidas costume file may as well be the original one, but that way you can be sure this mod in this zip will work. Now imagine you want to bulk export your whole collection. Okay, so you don't want to go through one by one, and you just want to say, hey, all my mod collection for every character, I just want you to bulk export zip it. You can do this. So let's create export zips. Let's create this folder right here and click the export costume library to zip files. Do you want to export your entire costume mod library to zip files? Yes, I do. Where to? To the export zips. Okay, include original costumes. This basically allows you to back up besides your costume mods, the original ones also. Okay, let's include the original ones. Zip it. So right now he is going through every character, and inside every character he's saying, okay, how many costumes do you have? Oh, I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's give them to me. I'll zip it and I'll export it. So this may take a while, but it's worth it if you want to safely back up your mod collection. Okay, we're back. So this is taking some time, but as you can see, he is progressing. Look, he is now backing up Vega, now Zangief, and Okay, 80 costumes exported. So now, as we can see, this is what he did. So in Able, we didn't add any extra costumes to it, so he only backed up the original ones. So here they are, the color file, the costume file, and the VFX file. There is no preview file for the original ones, but in Chun-Li's case, okay, so he backed up the 2 original ones plus the ones we had in there, the color, the costume, the VFX, and the preview file. In Ryu's case, we had lots of them. Okay, so we have the original 1 and 2 plus everything else, and there you go. So you have I hope this tutorial helped you guys out. I definitely recommend you to using bulk import and export in costume files and not using color file manager by hand. The reason why color file manager exists is that, well, first off, the Street Fighter 4 Custom Mod Manager began with this option, then later on I added the zip option, but it still exists for you to be able to fine-tune, okay, your costumes. Like if I want to use Adidas with another VFX file, like with the Satsui no Hado VFX, in order to be able to have the pinkish Hadoken, I can. So I didn't want to take that option away from you guys. But that's basically it. So stay tuned for part 4 of the tutorial that covers the custom mod switcher, which is the other way for you to select and switch your mods in game. So I'll see you guys then.